Welcome back to the Magic Tree as we head to the very second level of the swamp, which is actually in-game called the Great Dank, but we're going to keep calling it the swamp. Anyway, we shouldn't have any trouble getting to the next level. As was established last video, the only thing in our way are these really easy zombie enemies. More difficult enemies will spawn in the hub level as we complete the other levels, though. Welcome to Voodoo Village, and as has been the case a few times now, we want to turn around right at the start because there are a lot of goodies back here, including more keys. We can only hold 9 keys, by the way. We're nearly at the max. These water zombies, by the way, just fling fish off their body, so you want to wait for them to do that before you attack them, otherwise they might do it while you're attacking them. But that's about it for them. This treasure chest back here just has a whole load of cash for us, which, as has been established, is the best thing we can waste a key on. Maybe if we collect enough wads of money, we'll actually have some left over to buy power-ups in the final world. Who knows? Before we leave this area, there are a few straggling coins up in this tree. This level is very easy as far as combat is concerned. The only thing we need to worry about is the platforming. There's a crocodile in this big swampy area up here. We can mostly avoid it by running around the edges, which is good because there are coins on the edges. We're going to ignore all of the enemies in this swamp because it does make us move slower, and we don't want to risk getting hit for no reason. This part can be a bit tricky because the log is in the way of seeing the enemies properly, and there are also vines that you don't want to run into. Fortunately, rotating the camera behind us again fixes this issue. As for the vines, you've already seen these. There's nothing new here. An enemy popped up between them, which doesn't give us much room to run away, but it's only a single enemy, so... Like I said, this level isn't exactly about the combat. There are 3 huts in this area, 2 of which we need to open with keys. We're only going to open 1 of them, though. Thankfully, the key to do so is right here. It's next to a water zombie, but I knew he was coming. It's not like they're very good at sneak attacks anyway. We're going to go up to the first hut and unlock it. It only has a single diamond for us, but we're almost full on keys, so there's no reason not to use them. Even if the net gain is relatively minor, I mean, we can't collect more than 9 keys. The second hut, if we look at it from the side, we can see contains... Oh, hold on. We can see this hut contains a lightning sword power-up by looking at it from the side, which we do not want. There's one we can get for free later. And here's yet another key. This level is very generous with these. Actually, a lot of levels are generous with these if you know where to look. This one just makes their locations fairly obvious. Unless you're just running through the level. In this next area, we actually hit some of the platforming. That chest is a mimic, by the way, that's why we're ignoring it. Remember, this brown water means that if we fall down, we will die instantly, so we have to be very precise with all our jumps here. I'm going to show you a quick secret area behind this tree. The jumps here are rather difficult. You have to angle them just right or you'll slip right off the edge. And now we have 9 keys, which means we officially cannot pick up any more. An axe-throwing skeleton spawns on this platform, but we can hit him as we jump down if we're really fast. And we can bypass all that moving platform nonsense. It's a pretty handy shortcut. We couldn't pick up that key, of course, because we're full. And here's that lightning sword power-up I promised we would get. Very useful for taking out, say, scary plants from a distance. Though as we'll see later, those plants aren't really all that scary. Probably one of the easiest enemies. There's a health recovery item back here should we need it, but we don't. It bears saying again that the way the game encourages minor exploration is very, pleasant. Because the game is a lot easier if you bother to look around corners instead of just running straight through. I find that's a common theme in a lot of 3D platformers, but especially in ones like this, it's more important. You know, I think I might have gotten through this stage without getting hit once. These plants are easily decapitated by a single swing of our elemental sword. We can see some coins over there, but they're too far to reach with our shield, even if we throw it. So we're gonna have to jump down there from above. Again, though, this brown water is instant death, so we should be careful. But knowing that we can trigger our second jump at any time makes it a lot easier. Usually games aren't that lenient with the double jump, but in Maximo you can just use your second jump at any time. And the jump back seems a little scary, but it's actually way less far than it looks to be. Now you might have noticed an axe throwing a skeleton, but if we jump down, he'll actually throw the axe way over our head. So we'll have plenty of time to strike him down. Just, you know, don't jump again. You can probably see platforms with armor and an extra life very nearby. That armor will make us invincible, but it will not protect us from falling to our death. So we still have to make this next jump carefully. If we can hold on to our invincibility for just a little bit longer, we can fight some of the skeletons at the very end, without worrying too much. As usual, the fight at the end is slightly more difficult than the fights in the rest of the stage. But it's nothing that we can't handle with our elemental sword. We might not exactly have a lot to spare, but we'll have other lightning swords in the future. Oh hey! Never mind, we have plenty to spare. This level went almost as perfectly as it possibly could have. Unless I'm mistaken, there are exactly 3 more skeletons left. But with our increased sword range and the fact that our sword is, you know, imbued with lightning, I think we've got this handled. We've basically been on top of the world in this game for a while now. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Maybe you guys are just believing in me so hard that it is imbuing me with anime power. And that's why I'm winning so much.